backgrounds? Yeah.
No, I don't think any of his backgrounds would apply
3.
with group speaking.
10.
Okay. That would be a failure. Certainly Dwohurim speaks with quite a bit of passion, and then he's got quite a bit of like, there are a lot of people like speaking and like motioning with that, but in the silence, the people who are in like the center there like says, "Who are we to listen to this outsider who so clearly does not know our ways? He does not live here. He strolls down the highway from the supposed Meadowdell and informs us of all these things. We know the old man of the forest, that great grizzled bear who has spared lives over the centuries. We know, and this arrow, and we know the lack of food, and we know that the Druids are more than capable of moving all of the game. We will starve this winter." And then, like, the ripple of panic begins again. I don't want to die. Maybe we can find the murderer. Yes, it's a cherry red hen feather. We got this. I don't know anyone who uses a cherry red hen feather. Well, I actually know, like, this one kid, like, this one family. Like, I've seen those arrows used before by a boy. And they start rippling into panic again.
We need another show.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to succeed with the roll at all. I have 0 modifier to charisma.
Give a level.
I can try, but
We all get a roll.
sure.
And you're already in the center.
Right.
Yeah, I am.
Each of you has a chance to manipulate these. Like, in the case, since Manaki chose that route, then that would have been the situation there, and he failed, and the crowd, as a result, is motivated for the idea of doing something about it, but it appears to be more of the witch hunt doing something about it variety.
Alright, Fargus will step up next to Hiram.
Alright.
And sort of slam his spear into the ground and yell, "Silence!"
The crowd mostly falls silent. Who is he? Can I talk to him about buying the dwarf?
Jesus Christ. It is true what my friend here says. Ajax does not care what happens to this village. He just wants to rule. And God damn it, I'm too tired. Oh god. We have seen him before, and I felt a sickness within him. I am also a druid, and I can see that he is not a true druid anymore, at least. Something has festered within him, and he has become evil in heart. We can't trust him. We can't do as he says. We must oppose him at all turns.
Ajax? Who's he talking about? Who's this Ajax fellow? He's like referring to like the old man of the forest. And bears like actually druids? Maybe he is a druid. He looks like a druid. He's got like leaves in his beard. Look at him. Look at the guy standing next to the dwarf. Is he the dwarf's owner or not? Who do I talk to about this? Lady, it's not polite to talk about buying dwarves here in the town. Oh, shut up, you old fuddy-duddy.
Oh god.
This is the reason Leon hasn't stepped up yet. He's too busy like laughing at this.
Thinking if there's anything more I want to say.
Tempus is just actually, while you're distracting it, he's trying to climb the statue.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to make a skill check for that. There's enough handholds. I could say that Tempus would be able to climb it.
Okay.
Since he's taking his time.
Should I make my charisma roll then? I guess.
If that will be how you resolve the situation, then yes. You're following on the heels of Dwohurim, and he did have that wizardry cool effect, and you kind of had that too, but he also failed and kind of panicked these people more. You also did talk a bit over their heads, but, they're peasants, they're farmers, what the fuck, what do they know? I would say that for you in this case, that averages out both good and bad and leaves you with the flat, unmodified DC 20 skill check. And I would totally say this would be charisma based.
18 plus.
No.
Straight on the back of this, if there's a panic setting off, I'm just going to say no. You go for it, Grimith.
All right. It's a words like whoever this Ajax fellow is, well, the old man of the forest has never turned against us before. This threat is too good to, like, what if really he could take it seriously? And so now the crowd becomes, like, even more riled and distressed, like, stamping their feet, and the speaker, like, in the center who's holding the arrow, this is all we need do, though, folks. We have had so much trouble with bandits here in these lands. But if we just find the murderer, and I've seen a boy who uses these arrows before, I know they're here. I just can't remember the boy's name. Can any of you remember the boy's name? And so now you have, like, people, like, shutting out, like, a bunch of, like, various, like, names and, like, chattering with each other, like, trying to remember, like, well, there might have been, like, this one person. They're, like, throwing out names at each other.
Tempus will let out a really high-pitched whistle to try and grab the audience as he's standing atop the statue.
The crowd mostly stops. Who's he? How he dare he defy like this?
Hello, my friends and lovely people. Now, I understand my lovely colleagues down here, my adventuring partners, they can speak a bit above your heads. Now, look at me. I know you. You're my friends. You may not know me, but I know you. You are beautiful, wonderful, smart, intellectual, and amazing people. Trust me. Look at me. I may be suave, but you people are better. I know what you are capable of. I've been here but a few days, but I know. Now, what my friend, my dwarf, said. He said quite cleanly, why are you being pushed and forced into justice that is not your duty? What? Why have you to bear this crux? What justice is this? What fair an expectation? For instance, would you accuse the farmer, if he's plowing the field, of why he isn't catching fish? Or would you accuse the fisherman of why he's not building a table? It just makes no sense, don't you think? Now, I understand that. With the mention of an arrow, with the mention of the story, I can get you. I understand you. But we need to think sensibly about this. Don't you believe me? Yes. I can see a few of you at the front. Yes, indeed, sir. He's not pointing at anyone particular. He's just pointing straight at someone.
How do we think sensibly?
You listen to me. That's how you think sensibly, because what I will do is I will give you the voice that you are giving me. That makes sense, yes? Now, the voice that you are doing is you are worried, you are concerned. Now, expected. It's expected. Now you're all getting hungry. We all get hungry, and especially with the idea that you might lose food. But it's a might. It's a might. Now, that is just a chance, and I understand there could be a panic. I understand that. I get hungry like everyone else. I get thirsty like everyone else. It is an expectation. But one step at a time. You have been told of someone is expecting you to do something. Someone is telling you what to do and is threatening you. They're threatening you. They're forcing you to starve. Now, if someone punches you in the face, what do? You punch him back, don't you? You don't just sort of go on the floor and sob like a baby. No. You people are stronger than that. I see that in your faces. You're such strong, beautiful people. I know you are capable. So, what do you do when someone punches you? He looks around expectantly. He looks around at his colleagues.
Fargus has a very questioned look on his face, like, what the fuck are you saying?
All right. With that in mind, I have listed modifiers here. There have been 2 failures. The base DC is 20, and that would normally up it to 24 for each prior group failure. However, there's a -2 DC here for a great setup involved, and then I have a separate entry here, and this is what Tempus just did to all these fucking peasants. And it's called -5 DC if the players blow your fucking mind. Don't be surprised. That chops it down to a DC 17 charisma-based skill check, and I'm pretty sure you have a background which would apply for group communication.
Specifically, he's trickster of the dice. He knows how to sway people.
You know how to work a crowd, yes.
Right, so that's roll 1d20, not 2d20, plus 3 for my charisma modifier, plus 5 for the background.
Moot.
Not only did you exceed that, you exceeded that by 10. So there is a long pause. Then there's a lot of suggestions being offered. Do we punch him back? Do we offer him cookies? Do we try to buy the dwarf wizard? Basically, all of the peasants are they're not so angry and panic more. They've just been completely flabbergasted by Tempus, and they're now genuinely considering what they're supposed to do in this situation. What do we do if someone threatens to punch us? Do we turn the other cheek? I read about that. Or you don't listen to the priestess and her stupid beliefs. You turn the other cheek. What kind of nonsense about that for a pacifist god? Well, I do say, my dear, that maybe you should duck. If someone attempts to punch you, you duck, and then the punch goes right over your head. So yes, there is now this wake of confusion, and then like the central speaker is like, please, 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 regain focus. We're still under dire threat of starvation. Unless we solve this mystery and find the murder and bring justice as the old man of the forest has commanded.
I think Urim here would see that this guy is being a dick and sort of walk over to him and excuse me, could we have a little talk over sort of here?
He ignores you. He ignores you.
Man.
Leon is going to
Leon
is going to come out of his way where he kind of like shifted into the crowd at the moment.
All right.
But seeing he's ignoring Durham, don't ignore people. That's rude. So Leon's going to leave the crowd, head straight for him.
All right.
If anyone gets in his way, he's going to, it's not actually going to cause any problems for them, but cause some lights to appear around him to make it more dramatic entrance.
All right, you can do that. Like,
is this another wizard? Oh, look at him. Can I buy him? Oh, you saucy bitch.
As Leon walks up to the man.
The hunter is like, this has probably been like the most fucking perplexing day of his entire life. To have been like the messenger for this shit. And to have like all this fucking like light show and then all these people trying to interact with him. He looks at you like, basically after what Tempus did, like this entire mix of confusion.
Sir, I understand you're worried. I understand you're very concerned. Leon looks around the entire crowd. We cannot panic and start hunting each other out. I know I'm from the outside. But, yet, this entire town, all of you are close. You are brothers, you are sisters, you are friends, colleagues, and you all work with each other, and you cannot just go hunting each other out. Even if one of you did commit something grand, trying to do this wildly with such little time and no details, you're bound to make mistakes, and as a result, you don't want to hurt the ones you love. You don't want to hurt the ones around you. Looks around. To you all. Think about this. The way we handle this is important. As people have said here, Ajax himself, the Druid, we have seen him, and he has not been the way to keep peace. He himself has been causing issues all around this area, and he's endangering many lives for his bloodlust of revenge. If you just stand around and do nothing about it, or you just try handing him on a silver platter, he'll do this again and again. Every time something gets in his way, you cannot just keep living in a folly like this. We all together must stand. Even if I'm from the outside, I will risk my life here to help you stand. You cannot be pushed around, and you must be able to stand up against his tyranny.
There's a wave of silence, and I will ask Leon now to make a charisma-based skill check. The difficulty for this one, there have been 2 prior group failures, but one of the group successes cancels out one of those failures. There was a great setup here as well, and because Tempus did so amazingly well with absolutely like confusing and like diffusing some of the anger just by fast-talking these people, the DC is 15.
I rolled a 2. There's not a lot I can do about that.
Alright. The message disseminates through the masses, and then it says, yeah, like, we should stand together. Like, we should totally stand together. That's great. And then that's like murmurs around like acceptance, and then someone cries out, that's why we gotta find the murderer who did this, so we all don't starve to death. And then that ripples across the crowd, and everyone like murmurs in their acceptance and agreement. We have to find him! Find him! I don't want to die!
Tempest
This
face.
is just what Ajax wanted.
I hate peasants.
Thomas, save the day.
Thomas
Oh,
Thomas
to
is
you,
not a
Thomas.
social.
Well, I guess it falls to Thomas then.
Get them in
Thomas-
line.
Thomas
If you have to.
was kind of mumbling to
I'm telling
himself
you,
the entire time how he has completely misinterpreted the situation. But then he,
I attempted to weigh the odds and I came up blank. What does that mean?
that has never happened before. How does that even work?
I got a
But yeah.
negative result.
He'll speak up, slowly getting louder until he's basically shouting at the top of his lungs. Would you people just think for a moment? Look at yourselves, fighting among each other, wanting to find a murderer in this mystery. Sure, a murder has happened, and yes, a murderer has to be found. But do you really think it fair that the old man immediately calls all of you here guilty, that he gives you nothing more than an arrow and tells you to pummel each other until you find the one who's guilty, whether or not he really is guilty, doesn't seem to matter. You are looking for a scapegoat, something to satisfy the old man's bloodlust. This is not what needs to be done. You need to calm down, breathe, and think. This situation does not have... Let me think for a moment here, out of character. Does not have to escalate. Look at yourselves. You are close to punching each other in the face. You are planning to sacrifice a young boy because someone might have seen him with a red arrow playing in a garden somewhere, and you aren't even sure about the name, let alone how he looks like. Do you really want to become murderers yourself? Is that how you want to solve a murderer? Is how you want to solve a murder? He will kind of let that ripple through the crowd as he's trying to be kind of the voice of reason.
All right.
I tried, Sheep. I tried to help.
We all tried.
That's right. As that is rippling, then why don't we go ahead and have that? That totally sounds like it's charisma-based skill check as well. I don't know whether you have an actual background. Go ahead and read your backgrounds out to me.
Well, Thomas has his bartender background. It's probably not related to carpentry in any way.
Let's see. See, bartender background, huh?
I mean, if someone's at a bar, right? You know, at a bar there are a lot of people around. You get used to talking to people, and one of the things that often happens in a bar, unfortunately, is fights, which need to be broken up. Or arguments happen.
I would argue that maybe his guard background might apply because he might be somewhat proficient in trying to diffuse volatile situations already. This might not be the first uprising he has witnessed.
I don't know about the guard background. I would lean towards no on that, but the bartender one, I think that I think I can accept that.
Maybe.
I think that's
maybe he's okay. Maybe he's seen like a discussion about to escalate in his bartending days.
It happens a lot.
He managed to calm down.
I mean, drunk people are unreasonable too. So you're used to.
These people are basically drunks at this point.
And the DC you're looking to meet is a 17.
Okay, let's see. No.
I'm the only one?
You know, I will note, me and Sheep rolled 2s and 3s.
Well, I mean, it's hard for the players to accomplish any DC when the rolls are a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 7. Alright?
Like, we tried! We gave the best speeches we could.
Like, that's just the way the dice went. So, After Thomas's words, there are some in the crowd who either like retain the confusion from Tempus, who just from the combined assault of everything, do sort of scatter out. They're like, whatever, fine. I have other things. What did he say? I still want to know whether I can buy him. So you still have like several dozen people who filter out, but you still got a mob of angry, panicked folks. About maybe 120 strong, and one of them cries out, "It's Adric Locke, the Hunter's son!" And they're like, "Yeah, he's the only one who uses cherry red hen feathers. Let's get him!" And all of them like, "I need to go back and pick up my torch. I gotta get my pitchfork. We'll get him for sure and take him to the Wild Wood. Let's take him to the Wild Wood. I don't even know where he lives. Follow me, I'll take you there." And all of the people mobilize together, and they actually begin charging out of the town center and heading south.
I would like to make it loud, as loud as I can, ghost sound.
All right.
Basically, about Urim screaming out, Camilla, your city damn well needs you!
All right. Why don't you give me an intelligence-based skill check using your magical background?
How loud can you amplify this?
Like, they are doing dumb stuff. So intelligence plus my background plus my level.
Yes.
Come on, amplify the sound.
Plus that. 28.
All right.
Like,
Good
I'm
roll.
put-
The
counter-
mob, the ghost sound is so extremely loud, it actually does get the mob to halt. And they look at Dwohurim with panic. And then one of them shouts, "What if he's in cahoots with them? Yeah, they're talking all the time about not doing anything. Maybe they're with, maybe we're with the bandits, or maybe they're bandits, maybe they're bandits."
He sort of looks to the crowd and says, continuing the sort of loud, basically like the rumbling effect, like distant thunder, saying, "Do not think I am a simple trickster. If you will not listen to me, at least listen to the senator. Hear her voice in it first. If she thinks the man is guilty, then surely she will say so. Go to the senator's house. Hear what she will have you do. She has always stood up for you in the past." Past.
There's a pause,
hear this too.
a lower pause, and then there's a lot of cries from several different people. "We're the one who elected the Senate! We help protect ourselves! If we can't defend ourselves, we can't count on any elected body! Let's go!" And they mobilize and begin moving out.
Damn, these peasants are fucking smart.
Are they still moving south towards the
Yes,
supposed boys' home?
they are moving south, heading along the highway here, south of the town center. It's a slow movement process. I can add a token to show you how effective they are at transiting.
And how many people are there about?
Maybe 110 to 120. There's a lot of people who are still in the
that
town
many?
center.
Oh boy.
And we have no idea where the hunter lives.
You do not know, no. But you could always ask.
Ask the crowd.
I don't have a horse. I can't really.
Here we go.
Does Urim think that this would move to Camilla's house? His voice, she would be able to hear it.
That was so loud, like that certainly a lot more people who were inside their homes would have heard that. Like, he thinks he could hear the chandelier shaking and the rampant badger.
Oh,
Good.
my ears.
So hopefully that gets her damn attention. What the fuck is she doing in her home and this sort of shit is going on?
Yeah, so what do we do?
I'm wishing I prepared my once per day fly now.
Standing in the town center with you folks, emerging from the tavern nearby is old Bjorny, the dwarf himself, who blinks and he looks at you five and he says, "Can't control them when they get out of control like that. They just... humans, you know." And he twists his hand in the air.
Oh, he nods. They're going to kill a boy.
Do you know where the hunter lives?
"I know where he lives. I could even..." Bjorny closes his eyes. "I could even take you there faster than they'll get there, I'm sure."
Then let's go. Go. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Bjorny will actually leave the tavern behind. He has a resolute look on his face, perhaps agreeing with U.S. player characters. Certainly, it was difficult for him to ignore the message, especially when Dwohurim boomed everything. And he'll take you folks south using this road, and where he'll lead you across the grass further down south to a place that I have revealed for you players on the map, or at least it should be revealed.
I recognize it.
Yes, the Lock Homestead. I do not have a token for Bjorny. You can just imagine a bartender dwarf alongside you folks. Yes.
So merging these two.
Yes.
Just gonna grab a drink for a second. I'll be back in a moment.
Right. Along the way, you quickly outdistance and outpace like this slow-moving mob, but you can hear it continuing to gain steam behind you folks as it slowly proceeds down the road, and especially in the late afternoon, you can see like pinpricks of light as sort of like people take torches up into the air.
Leave the witch hunt, goddammit.
Well, Thomas is going to turn towards his companions and hear and kind of mumble, whisper, say, really. I think there's two options. Either we take the family and run, or I suppose we can stand in the mob's way. Perhaps
I think we should just tell them to run away and hide.
As annoying as it is, yes, they might be better off running.
Yeah.
After all, these hot-headed people could be useful if we need to march them against the forest.
They might.
You do know if they notice that we're the ones that have like led them away and we're still there.
Yeah, we should leave. We should leave afterwards. Fargus will move up and slam the door. Slam on
Their
the door.
house will be burned down, you know that.
Yes. But they will still be alive.
So, slamming the door is quickly opened by a small boy who, not too long ago, guided you folks to Senator Cabot's house. No more than 10. He blinks in surprise and looks up at you all and says, "What? My father
Hi.
is not here, right? Like, hello?"
Oh, god damn it.
Where's your red arrows? Quickly.
My red... Oh, those! They're pretty, aren't they?
Quickly, get them.
He, like, looks between all of you, so confused right now.
It's very important. We'll explain later.
His eyes fall, like, down to Bjorny, and Bjorny says, "Is your mother in?" And the boy nods. "Get her to." And the boy, very confused, will turn away and head. It's a small home. It's basically like a 2-room type place, made out of wood, easily burnable.
How long are we thinking before they get here?
You have no idea how long it will take a mob
Okay.
of... You folks ran pretty much at, like, breakneck speed. Mobs won't do that.
Might have a few minutes.
The mob's probably burning and looting. We're fine. Anytime.
Well,
No, they're not.
Did anyone say burning and looting? So we move quickly in the door.
What?
Oh boy.
Yes, the boy gathers up his arrows, and as you can see, he's actually like talking about them like they're a great effect. I get this. Well, I don't really. My dad, he studied at the academy many years ago, and while he wasn't like a wizard, he makes these for me. And when I grow up, I'm gonna be a hunter just like him because he's so great. And
That is great and all, but
Are these all the red ones?
yeah, these are all my red hen feathers. Yeah,
Are they the same looking color?
they look exactly the fucking same as the arrow that was brandished out.
Has any of them disappeared recently?
No, I go shooting on occasion with my dad.
Okay.
He doesn't use
So-
my arrows though; these are mine.
we need to stop talking and either run or make sure that we're ready.
A woman who appears to be in her late 30s comes basically in from the back. What's this all the... Hello?
We all look against her. Panicked. You look. Yeah.
She gives you all like this like a perplexed smile. Like that's the best she could come up with.
You already
right
go.
There's not much time.
They
to
know
explain.
you.
Wait.
It's saying to the dwarf at the tavern.
now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
These people know him. They're gonna go with him, right?
Bjorny looks somber and he says, "There has been a commotion in the town center, my dear. The people are convinced that your son has killed someone in the forest. They're coming for him." The woman goes into like complete like wide-eyed like shock and fear, and the boy goes, "No, I didn't. I didn't kill anyone."
We know you didn't, son, but the mob will not stop for that. Even if you tell them you didn't.
But I didn't kill anyone.
We know, but you need to run for now, and then the crowd will calm down. And
We
then
have
all
to
will
get
be
my
fine.
dad. Where's Dad? Dad would know what to do. He, like, looks at his mom, who is still frozen in fear.
There's no time for that now. You need to run. Get away from here, as far away as you can.
She sort of frowns deeply as he begins to sputter at his tips of his fingers. There's everything from acid to lightning to sort of ice crystals just dripping down. And says, "You need to leave this house now. You will not leave, then I will make you leave. Go with the dwarf now."